A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this channeling session, I would be talking about someone who is representing the collective. This is a collective reading. And my dear beautiful souls, this is the world of inner work. If you're here right now, you called yourself to this. It's not a coincidence. Via your intuition, you called yourself to this content and you are using me simply as a tool, as a medium to go through something that you're a vibrational match to. You may or may not resonate fully depending on whatever your energy is right now. So in case you have questions, you can get a personal session or get into therapy with me, which will help you to align with your chakras. All the information is mentioned in the description box. Aligning with the chakras is very important because that actually helps you to connect with your divine masculine and divine feminine energy, the Ida and Pingala Nadi, which is located inside your energy body. And this actually is the main reason why a lot of people feel separation in the twin flame ascension journey or the star seed ascension journey. The intention of the collective message is to create a space or a portal that can lead to epiphanies, which then can lead to the pathway of creating a quantum leap. However, in the world of inner work, we all take responsibility of our own well-being and our own lives. So it is our duty to do inner work and surrender to source. So let's get started and find out what source wants us to know. So I am channeling a personality who is a passionate advocate of whatever they believe in. This is a person who is very determined, and they are driven by the commitment to make a difference on this planet, and they can display a very intense focus. They display an energy that they are actually pursuing their mission. So a lot of people actually look up to them. But it's not been easy for these people. Trust me, relationship has been one of their biggest entry point to this inner work journey. This person I'm being shown was many a times taken away from their avatar self. The concept of an avatar self can have different interpretations depending on, what is it all about? What is the context? In some places or cases, it can refer to a transformation or shift in the mindset where a person embodies their desired characteristic or persona, while in some places there is actually a very strong notion that every person has an avatar self. Even in psychology, they talk about self-concept, and that they call the word is avatar. So it is the image that we have created of ourselves. It is the thoughts that we have about ourselves, and from all these mixtures of beliefs about oneself, the I comes, and from that I we have, like this is how you look like, this is how I look like, this is how we speak. You, me, everyone. However, from the spiritual standpoint, I honestly feel the avatar self, which is also seen in the movie Avatar, where they talk about someone's characteristic traits or they talk about someone's appearance also. But in the spiritual reality, I would say it is the most important thing about you. It is a signature frequency, a signature energy that God has given to you, like in your pure, pristine form, in your purest form, without any fears, without any guilt, without any shame, with all of your chakras aligned, with your Merkabic field activated, with all your 72 nadis working, with your masculine and feminine, the divine masculine feminine, the sacred masculine feminine, the Ida and Pingala Nadi connected with you, with all your energy nodes, with all of that you are. That is when your avatar self is working. That is when you're actually just being yourself, because the whole idea is to just be. Now, let me tell you that avatar self is not something that you will turn into immediately or people turn into, because it is connected to your light body. And now what you're here to do on this planet is to merge, your physical body and your light body, or you can say different formats of your body, like you have an emotional body, you have a mental body, you have an astral projection which is used in your astral travels, then you have an etheric body. Your human body is what you see. Okay, but when we talk about the third eye, or when we talk about the duality concept, so duality is connected to your two eyes, which you see, the worldly eyes. However, your third eye is connected to your cosmic self or your avatar self, or the singularity concept that we keep talking about, which I keep talking about in my videos, that we all are actually, especially people who are doing inner work. I'm not going to talk about everyone, not in the same life, but then everybody is everybody's projection in their reality. So when you realize these things via practical understanding of life, like it's not like we are telling you, you leave everything, you run away from the world and then you learn it. On the contrary, inner work is most difficult and the best when you stay in the world, when you're part of the world, and still you're able to ascend. Now, in a normal waking world, a lot of people are not aware about these concepts, or they're not even aware about inner work. A lot of the people are not even aware about basic things, like they don't believe that this world is... When you get the correct education, you will always remember certain things, like life is temporary, death is also a true reality. A lot of people don't want to accept that, and I'm not saying it's easy to accept it. It's always difficult. Even dark night of the soul is not easy. Even when you go through pain, it's not easy. But once you get the solution, once you get the medicine, it seems like a talk of yesterday. I mean, it does not have that much impact on your life, especially of the past, and you can keep moving on and you can keep living. Those pieces of you that got fragmented, or the ones that went away from you, you realize that they actually never got fragmented, they just became a part of you. Sometimes you may question, sometimes the past is actually given to you like an implant, which does not allow you to grow further because you're so stuck with the past, right? Many people are not able to step out into a positive reality because they keep thinking about the past. So what happens when a person is stepping into their avatar self? First of all, their mindset has to shift. So this person that I'm channeling, their mindset shifted, and broken relationships or broken family relationships, or just in general big time betrayal or some kind of unhappiness was a big reason why they stepped into the mindset shift, and they started adopting empowering beliefs, attitudes and perspectives that aligned with their desired personality. Now obviously nobody is that intelligent or that enlightened to know that this is what my personality should be, like 10 years before they actually see it, or 20 years before they actually see it. They might have dreams, they might see themselves in dreams wearing extremely different clothes, extremely different costume, or riding a vehicle that is just very much ahead of time, or being with a partner, being with someone they've never seen before but feeling a very close connection with that person, or some other things like that, or being in some kind of a very affectionate mode, and they would actually question it because in their physical reality they don't feel any of that. So what happens? Why are these dreams being shown to them? Number one. Number two, many of times people actually, when they are going through self-limiting beliefs and when they are going through a lot of pain, at that point in time it's very difficult for them to see that they could be healed version of themselves, fully healed, like completely just being, doing whatever they're here to do, living their purpose, living their mission and living their life. Now a lot of us actually think that we are the ones who are the deciding factors, but through this channeling session, I'm also going to tell you guys that we are not. We are simply the observers. So you may have chosen a lot of things about yourself, but you're actually just here to observe the pain or the joy, the happiness or the sadness, the shadow self or the light self, whatever you want to call it. Everything is already pre-written. It's already predestined. Everything is predestined. But the more we observe, it means the more we are surrendering. That is why surrendering is so difficult, because all these limiting beliefs are given to people. They start getting it since they are born. Literally since they are born. As soon as they are named, their religions are decided, they are born, their, profession even is decided sometimes. The parents, they start talking that I'm gonna make my child a doctor or a police inspector or a pilot, like whatever desires or fascinations or things that parents were not able to do, they try to project it on the child. A lot of celebrities are those people whose parents wanted to be celebrities but could never be. So their desire was incomplete, so they felt that, I'm going to pass it on to my child. My child is going to do what I'm not able to do. So many a times people are simply fulfilling the desires of their parents or their grandparents or whatever generation they come from. It happens a lot with kings and queens and ministers and popular people, famous people. Their children are just a result of nepotistic beliefs. And what can they do? It's also karma, maybe. Maybe that's how they learn. Maybe that's how they figure out. So what kind of people are spiritual warriors? I'm sure they also get some kind of legacy. They also get a legacy, and that's why we always tell you guys that you are born in a template by your own choice. It may sound very difficult to digest or swallow, but that is what it is. So actually it is the mindset shift which helps a person to step into their avatar self, and maybe there are some activation rituals, some initiation rituals, but I honestly feel it is all a grace of God. Everything is grace of God and masters. They know like what to do with a person who surrendered. Okay. Sometimes people have a strong desire to become this purest version of themselves. They may not know what it's gonna cost them or what it's gonna make them go through, but they decide it and then they just keep focusing on it till it actually starts happening. But let me tell you, my dear friends, spiritual ego is a dangerous thing. It's a very, very dangerous thing. And these days, narcissism, spiritual ego, a lot of these words have become very popular. I have actually seen narcissistic people telling other people who they are treating badly, call them narcissist. It's crazy. It's funny. Or whatever bad things they are doing to someone on emotional level, they start telling their victims the same thing. Like as if they don't care about whatever they're doing, number one. Number two, they've also started, reading and watching, or they've also started just absorbing the content which their victims are absorbing or trying to absorb. So this person that I'm being shown over here is not a person who has a spiritual ego, is not a person. In fact, they are away from ego. They want to get away from ego. They don't want to have any ego. And the label could be anything. It could be spiritual, it could be material, it could be this, it could be that. But they don't want to have it, so they don't have it. Because they've worked maximum of their time. The inner work is all focused on making sure that they go through an ego death. Ego death also makes a person extremely straightforward. Okay, these people are like, they can speak the truth. They don't shy away from speaking the truth, and they don't shy away from creating boundaries. If someone takes them for granted, or if someone tries to use them, or someone tries to act smart with them, then they can call that person out and they can remove them from their periphery very easily. So because of that, a lot of other narcissistic people who don't like to be called out or who don't like to be, treated this way, they also call them egotistical or mean or this and that. Or you don't know how to talk, you don't respect me, this and that. So these people may or may not have that kind of, camaraderie or that kind of relationship where they're constantly nice to people. It is, I think, impossible even for the highest of the highest masters to be constantly nice to everyone. Even they have people around them, somebody or the other, who is not a nice person, who speaks badly about them behind their backs. So entering into the avatar self does not mean that this person, whosoever I'm channeling, is going to become perfect or is going to become like, even Buddha for that matter. There are so many stories about Buddha, who's an enlightened being, an enlightened master. Even he was called mean things, or there were so many people who tried to put him under scandals, and so many negativity was spread about him also. So if an enlightened person is not spared on this planet, How can anyone else be spared? But this person, whosoever it is, I'm being shown, they don't care about it. They don't care about anyone who criticizes them or speaks bad about them. They will not stop, because the whole idea of anybody who's trying to pull you down is so you don't do what you love. That's it. There is no big thesis about it. They just don't want you to carry on with your purpose or just be yourself. They want to give you something negative. Either it would be given to you via love, or it would be given to you via some other way. It would be emotional blackmail, or it would be just plain simple disrespect, or it would be anything like that, but they just want you to stop. They feel that by abusing you, by cursing you, by calling you mean things, by saying bad things to you, or by just, criticizing whatever you do, they would be able to stop you. But they cannot. So the person who's entering this phase of their journey, of their ascension journey, which is a very, very crucial journey, it only happens to people who have already gone through 5D union, and they obviously see their own union in the 3D reality, because union is not the same for everyone. Most people, unfortunately, actually, it's very funny, they see union as marriage. And I know a lot of people who are married who come to me for sessions, and they are unhappy as hell. So for a lot of people, they see union as marriage, and some of them even had love marriages. Trust me, they had love marriages, but 20 years down the line, they don't see any love. They feel that they did marry for love, but there is no love. So they probably did not know what love was at that point in time. Now that they know about love, they are not able to get out of that situation. So now they realize that maybe it was God's plan to make them do inner work this way only. So whosoever I'm speaking to, you are a person, before stepping into your avatar self, you have been engaging in a lot of introspection and self-reflection. You have explored your aspirations, your strengths, and most importantly, your weaknesses. You are not scared to speak about your flaws to yourself. You are able to do a research. You're able to investigate. You're not the type of person who is scared to feel, like you actually feel stuff. Even if it's bad stuff, even if it's pain, even if it's anything negative, you are not scared of feeling it, because feeling is the thing. That's the game changer. So this type of self-awareness, this only is the foundation creator for the avatar self. So in order to reach that level, whosoever is there right now, whosoever is thinking about asexuality or singularity or unconditional love, you're not attached to anybody, you're not living in those moments where you're pining for someone, or you're deeply attached with the desire of wanting a divine counterpart, or like completion of your soul, the other half of your soul should come to you. I've said this before also, maybe it is the way people misunderstand it, but when they say that twin flame is the other half of your soul, they don't literally mean that the soul split into two halves, because the soul can never split into two halves. It is impossible for the soul to split into two halves. That is not how God designed this planet. Every soul is a unified soul. It is one soul. But yes, in order to grow, in order to achieve your purpose, or in order to just reach your actual form, your actual avatar self, to merge into singularity, you are going to meet people who are going to make you feel that you're literally half complete. That you need completion. So people look at others like, okay, this person is going to complete me. This person is going to be the puzzle that will fit my puzzle game or the picture. But actually you are the picture, and you are the puzzle, and you are the part that fits. To be honest, these people are not into visualization or imagination. They may be having a lot of gifts, psychic abilities, but those are natural visions. If they get a vision, the vision appears on its own. If they have ear ringing, it happens on its own. They don't sit and say, okay, let me make a vision board, let me do this, let me keep thinking over and over about the thing I want. These are the people who are actually detached from desires. They don't care about achieving anything. But at the same time, they want to remain in balanced energies, and they know that it's very important for them to take care of themselves and to always be in surrendered energies. So via their surrendering, they let the masters and they let source decide for them what type of persona should they have and how should they be mentally all the time. You might have heard about, some of you might have heard about, especially if you come from the Indian subcontinent, or if you have deep interest in Sanatan Dharam, or if you have studied Puranas or Vedas or any of these sutras, then there is a Narad Bhakti Sutra, and Narad Muni is a celestial being, and he can travel anywhere. He can go to hell, he can go to heaven, he can go to earth, he can go to all of the 30 plus dimensions on this planet. He doesn't need a ticket, he doesn't need a passport or a visa, he can go anywhere. And he can have whatever type of body he wants wherever he goes. He is a fully liberated spaceman who can travel to any planet that he simply desires to by his will. And he can travel freely between the materialistic world and the spiritual world. He's actually the master of the greatest of the great, and he also chants the Ram sound constantly, which is the sound of the solar plexus. The word Narad itself means Nara the. It means giver of knowledge. Sometimes they say he's like a Hindu cosmic prankster who causes turmoil, but that is an incorrect image that has been created. I would like you to, if you can Google and study something about Narad Muni, it would be great. But the reason why I'm talking about him is because he is a celestial being, and celestial beings exist on this planet. As much as humans exist, or divine beings exist, or angel exist, or demons exist, celestial beings also exist. So what are they? They are also in their highest, purest avatar self, and they will never get out of that avatar self, So what are they doing? They are also constantly doing inner work. So this person that I'm channeling today, this person is a great storyteller. They are also into music. I sense music. I also sense them having some kind of spiritual tattoos. Okay, their tattoos are also very powerful. They've thought very well about their tattoos. Every time they got a tattoo done, they thought a lot about it. They studied it a lot. They kind of felt very connected to those words or to those pictures or whatever it is that they got. But I'm being shown spiritual tattoos, and I'm being shown that this person also has long hair. It could be a man, it could be a woman. I'm also being shown that they have keen interest in deep metaphysics, and they have very godly energy, and they're very powerful. They love their solitude. They enjoy their solitude. They like to be hermits, but they're also the type of hermits that live in the world, in the worldly world. And these people that I'm channeling today, I'm gonna talk to them directly now. Some of you have been told a lot of things about you, but right now you are in a state where you accept everything. You accept everything. In the same day you receive good news, in the same day you receive bad news. If you have two good newses, you'll have two bad newses. And in both you are balanced, because you know that both are temporary, okay? Or the feeling around it is temporary. You are living your life as it comes on a daily basis. You feel very strongly you're protected by source. You are very much close to a deity also, to one specific deity, but you're working on your chakras. You're very much interested in studying about your chakra, about chakra alignment, about becoming one with source. You have these type of interest. You have a lot of gifts and abilities, but you don't use it for your own self. You're a very pure person, very selfless person. Yes, you have gone through a lot, but you have done a lot of inner work. Like, you're just witnessing things right now. And what's ahead for you that is not being shown to me in this channeling, because certain things cannot be put into words. This is something that you are going to live through. But I'm also being given the word transcendental for you. Like, it's related to you, or it's connected to you, or you're interested in it, you're exploring it. Transcendental. You don't like people who lie. Like, you get very irritated when someone lies in front of you. We're also very interested in half human, half animal characters. You find it fascinating. I also sense you have a liking for unicorns. You actually think that they're real. You feel that snake people are real. You feel that there are people who live in the underground reality. So you exist in different beings, different dimensions. And you're also very serious about devotion. You're very serious about inner work. You don't like it when your inner work gets disturbed. Like you have your own daily goals and you have your own weekly goals, or you just create resolutions and you work on it. Like you like to work on the resolutions that are connected to your spiritual inner work. You realize that people, like the soul, people are actually souls, you realize that. And a soul is eternally unchangeable, like the soul can never die, the soul can never live. The soul is just pure energy. You realize that. And you've always worked on becoming your best version. So God is actually happy with your work. You have a lot of grace of God. You are one of the favorites of God, but I don't want to say it to build superiority complex, but I just want to say it to you just for your validation and confirmation. You don't like to indulge in worldly affairs. You don't like to involve yourself with unnecessary talks that people do. After a while, you always excuse yourself away. You just like to do your duties and that's it. Yeah, so this is where I'm going to close this channeling session. For your personal situations, for personal readings, to get specific answers to specific questions related to inner work or your love life or your relationship dynamics, you can get into a session with me. The description box has all the details, and you can write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com once you're 100% sure. You can book the session on the PayPal link which is given on the description box, and then you can make me aware about it by emailing to me. Kindly do not share your twin flame journey in advance with me, because I use spiritual tools, modalities, intuitive abilities which are obviously given to me by my masters and source, and everything actually belongs to them, and all credit for all the wonderful stuff they do goes to them. They are literally the bestest best, and we are nothing. We are just a medium, but it is their divine love and grace that makes us something, anything. They can make us anything, literally. So we are all of us people are on the path of surrender. We are not on the path of ego. So ego is something that you despise, and you can actually recognize very easily all of those people who are full of ego. You just know it. You can see their doom, but you also don't say much because you're like, they're obviously deaf. They cannot hear anything because the ego is so loud. So one love, peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.